Good afternoon, everyone. So, I welcome you to the afternoon session or evening session, you can call, of the third day, where Dr. Abhinav Pratap is going to talk about the graphics in using LaTeX software. So, over to Dr. Abhinav now.
Thank you, Sunil sir. So let me just share my screen. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So as Dr. Sunil has said, that what we are going to do now is that we are going to talk about graphics in LaTeX. And this is the plan of the presentation. I'll just give some introduction, and then we will go to the main package, which is known as the Texi package. So this introduction is a very basic introduction. They are more of suggestions and some general discussion, and we'll move to that particular topic later on. Now these figures and diagrams are a part of every document, and mostly what I used to do previously was that I used to use scientific plotting softwares for making some figures, and I was using for general diagrams. Previously I was using Microsoft PowerPoint, and Inkscape is another very good and very capable software that you can use. As I said, that these are very excellent softwares for drawing, but then why I stopped using them? What I wanted in my diagrams was this mathematical accuracy. I want, for example, if I say that this equation, the angle between these two lines is 30 degree, I actually want it to be 30 degree. So that kind of mathematical accuracy is, I personally think that it is either not present or it is difficult to achieve in these softwares. Another problem was font type and font size. So whenever even when Arvind sir was discussing, then we have discussed in figures also that you can use the scale option, so that the whole figure that appears inside the document is according to your requirement. But what happens, what is the problem with using scaling, is that sometimes when you use scaling, for example, if you enlarge the text, then your original text looks very large as compared to your original document, or it can look very small as compared to your original document. Sometimes what can happen is that you are using some other font inside your figures, and that does not match with the font that is being used in the creation of document. So these kind of problems I used to face, and I used to hate it because I like consistency between the figures and between my documents. So that was another reason why I stopped using it. And mathematical symbols are another problem, as we have discussed previously also, that there is nothing that comes even close to LaTeX as far as typesetting mathematical symbols is concerned. So what I want is that the power of LaTeX should be available inside the figures as well, so that I can put the figures and put the labels as I desire and in the form that I desire. Actually, one of the when I was, or at least one of my friends was using this Origin software, and the remark from the editor was, the paper was accepted for publication, but the remark was that the label should be written like this, and you should not put a dot there. It should be a that dot which is used for dot product of vectors. Instead of period, that dot should be there. So these are sometimes you face these kind of problems, and you cannot handle these problems using, for example, Origin Pro, which I used to use previously. So in all these things, LaTeX is the best option. Another problem with these softwares is that you cannot see the code. There is no transparency. What is happening at the background, you cannot see that, and therefore you cannot fine tune it. These softwares assume that this is the best that you want, and they produce the output like that. But if you want even finer control over all these things, in that case, this may not be useful. So as I'm saying, that maybe these facilities or these things are available inside those previous softwares also, but I don't know how to use it. I have some limited time. We have to complete a lot of work, so I don't want to go into the details of that. Now what I do is I use this software which is called as Pixie, okay, as you can see here. And ever since I have never used any other software to actually produce figures. Now what I am doing is I am providing you with some guidelines on graphics. And these guidelines I believe that we should follow, because generally what happens is that we do not care too much about graphics. But graphics require a lot of time, and they require some effort as well, and they should be given that time or effort. That means that we should treat them like first class citizens in our documents. It should not be like, oh right, text is my main issue and I will handle graphics later on, or not bother about it at all. So it should be treated as a first class citizen. The time and effort you are putting in creating your document, or the text, you should be as careful with graphics as well. Okay. So what generally you want is that your graphics, whatever figure you are making, if it is a complex graphics, then it will require a lot of time. Okay, and that will depend upon what kind of information density you require. So few words about the workflow. You should always ask, this is the most important thing that you need to ask yourself whenever we are talking about graphics, that what I want the reader to know when he or she looks at the graphics, what information I want to convey, because graphics always convey information, otherwise they are useless. All right, so what kind of information do I want to convey through this particular graphics? That is very, very important. That should always be in your mind. Okay, and before actually sitting on the software and doing everything, it is always good to actually sketch the graphics using paper and pencil, so that you can see that what what the final outcome I want. Okay, so therefore it is very, very important, and it will be very helpful for you also to create such a detail, such an outline. You can fill in the inner details later on. They are important, but the information is the most important aspect of it. Okay, so you can discuss, you can fill the inner details later on, and you have to repeatedly revise your graphics. For example, okay, this is not looking good, I should tweak it, maybe I can look at it in another way, and things like that. But all these things are very, very difficult in other graphical user interfaces such as Inkscape or Microsoft Windows, Microsoft PowerPoint. But as you will see that all these things are very easy in this package that we are going to discuss. And whenever you are linking those graphics with the main text, then again, you see the importance. For example, if you see any very good book written by some very renowned people, you will always see that their captions are very, very long and they are very, very descriptive. And sometimes what happens is that you do not find much discussion about the figure in the original text, but most of the discussion is there in the caption. So the captions should be descriptive, and they are very integral part of your graphics, because they tell the reader about your graphics and what are the important or salient features of the graphics. Okay, so you should pay considerable amount of time to caption also. You can use and obviously there should always be reference to your graphics in the main text as well. Okay, because you are not putting that graphics there just randomly. You have put there to explain something or to convey some information, and therefore that reference should always be there. Now there are some common mistakes. For example, what we do is that we use some different program to create the graphics, and then we import all those things into our document. So as I have said previously, that different programs use different kind of fonts, use different styles and everything. Therefore, that consistency is missing. Therefore, as far as possible, you should use just one piece of software to create all your work, all your document, all the parts of the document. And with LaTeX, you have the advantage that not only the text, but even the graphics you can produce using LaTeX. Okay. All right. So this is another problem, that what you do is you keep repeating that same mistake again and again in the document. You have extremely inconsistent document. Your font is somewhere else, your line spacing is somewhere else, and all those things. That consistency gets creeped into your document, and therefore LaTeX is the best in this particular case. This is another point that I want to emphasize, that you should not scale your graphics. What should happen is that you should simply import your graphics into your document, and you should not scale it, because whenever you are going to scale your graphics, then what is going to happen is, again, your line widths will change, your scaling will change, your text width, everything will change. Okay, so therefore that is the problem with scaling. So as far as possible, you should not use scaling in your graphics, and this was one of the reasons why I stopped using Inkscape also. All right, so this I have already spoken about, that for consistency, do not scale the graphics. We should not scale the graphics as is written here, as you can see. Okay, and you should use the same font and the line width in graphics and in text. The coloring also, you should avoid using colors as much as possible. Just don't color your document. Don't color your text. Okay, it is just a bad option. Red is a kind of a alert. Okay, so for example, if you want to use colors, it should have some particular meaning. You should not use it for emphasis. Okay, and even for beautification also, I am of the opinion that you should not color your texts. Okay, so consistency, etc., all these things I have already discussed about, that whenever you are considering labels in the graphics, they should again have the same formatting options. Okay, same notation should be there. For example, using LaTeX, you can write e raised to the power minus I pi. Okay, but you cannot do the same using other pieces of software. For example, even using Microsoft Office, you cannot write a minus sign. You have to write a dash, something like this. Okay, and worse still, which I used to do, is that dash is simply looking like this, which is even worse. Okay, so there are many situations, as I have said before, that LaTeX is the only option. Not only the best option, but sometimes it is the only option. Labels should be legible. That means people should be able to read what is being written. For example, in PPTs, that happens very often. Whenever students are preparing PPT, what they are doing is that they are preparing their diagram in some software, then they introduce that diagram into their PPT, then they resize it, and when someone is looking at it, then the font size is either too large or it is too small, so that the whatever the audience is, they cannot read what is being written there. So all these things should be taken care of. Okay, and all right, I'll skip this last part. So finally, I'm talking about like what kind of graphics should I make. So let us say that I want to give some information to you. Okay, now look at this graphics. This is a completely useless graphics. It is not giving you any information at all, and there is no need to make it in 3D. You are assuming that it will look good, but it does not provide the information that you are looking for. Even this graphics, you can see that just if you look at it, then it looks very pretty, but what kind of information it is giving you? If you don't look at these numbers, then just by looking at the graphics, it will be very difficult to figure out these numbers. Therefore, you should also consider that when to use graphics. Whenever your data points are small, it is always better to use a table. And for example, now I'm talking just about a little bit about typography, and here you can see that I used useless upper and lowercase letters. I used colors even though it is not required. Okay, so it is a really bad way of doing things, and you should not distract the reader from the information that you are trying to convey. Okay, his or her focus should be on the information that you are trying to convey rather than the actual beautification of everything. Now, beautification is very, very important, but it should not be overdone. That is the point I'm trying to make. So as I saw this somewhere, that good typography, like a good organization, is something that you do not notice. It's not that you notice that, it's that you don't notice. And when someone points to you, look how beautiful it is, then you realize, okay, yeah, this is very, very beautiful. Okay, but it should get out of your way. get out of the way of the information that is being conveyed and to the reader. It should not get in between that. So there are two basic principles that you can use. You can avoid the distraction and steer attention. Avoid distraction I've already discussed. What is meant by steer attention is that you design your graphics in such a way so that the reader is led to look at where you want him or her to look. Okay, so therefore you should steer attention in that way. Newspapers use this concept very well, because what they do is they change the font size, font style, or boxing and all those things just to steer your attention from the whole page to that particular part. So next time you open a newspaper, you can always check this, that their most highlighted story will have the biggest font, at least in the title. So they steer attention, and you can use that technique as well in your graphics. And this is very, very important, that you can avoid irrelevant things. Irrelevant things are not required. Okay. So whenever you are explaining something to anyone, then why to show irrelevant things to them? Okay. So these were just some of my recommendations regarding the graphics. Now what we will do is we will start with this TIXE package. And in this package, what I am going to do is, I am not a big fan of just presentations. So what I am going to do is I am going to switch over. I am going to switch from the presentation to this software that I have already asked you to install. Okay. So maybe I'll stop for 1 minute if someone wants to say anything, ask anything, or I can continue on.
So which software needed to install?
That was already shared on the WhatsApp group, I think, and the name of the software is QTIXE. The link was also shared with all of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will cover in the tutorial that how to run this software. This software actually requires a template file, and that template file, what you do is you click here, okay, and then you can look for your template file. For example, this is the template file I'm using. I will open it. Okay. And now I can type some commands on the left hand side. I will get the graphics on the right hand side. So that is what we are going to do now. We are going to work here, and then we will keep switching between the presentation and between the software, so that you can see in real time that what you will type and what output you will get. If it is possible for you, you can type along with me. Okay, but if it is not possible for you, then it's okay. We will create some graphics in the tutorial session as well. So let us start with this TIXE package. So it basically contains instructions for drawing. For example, if I say that I have to go from here to Jalandhar, if I instruct someone, I will say, all right, go from this place to that place in a straight line. That is the instruction. But in some other graphics, what happens is that you are actually telling, all right, first move your right step, then your left step, then your right step, then your left step. You keep doing this many number of times, and then you will reach there. But that is the difference between vector graphics and raster graphics. That in vector graphics, they are a set of instructions. And the same thing we are doing with the TIXE package as well, that we are giving a set of instructions instead of clicking here and clicking there and getting a straight line. We will give instruction, all right, draw a line from this point to that point, and it will draw a line. Okay, so it contains these set of instructions. It looks like code. You like it, you don't like it, but it looks like code. It is actually an advantage that you can actually see the text or the code, and then you see what is the output, because then the transparency is there. You can see that what is happening, where it is happening, and why it is happening. And as I said, it is an advantage because now this code is reusable. If you have made something once, then you can reuse it again and again and again, as many number of times as you want. In different parts of figures can be used in some different parts of other figures. So that is what I mean by reusable code. And as I said, that these diagrams will be mathematically correct. You can determine the angle of rotation, the center of rotation, all these things. By how much degree? Whether it should be 29 degree, whether it should be 31 degree, or whether it should be 30 degree. All these things you can specify. You can use it to plot functions and data also. Okay, that we will cover, I think, tomorrow, not today. There is some support for 3D graphics, but there are other good options as compared to TIGZ package. It can produce some very good looking 3D graphics, don't get me wrong, but it has some problems. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but it can make 3D graphics. So what we are going to do is we are going to create this simple figure. Okay, so this figure, what does it contains of? It contains these two axes. Okay, x and y axis, these are the two axes. Okay, it contains of labels, right? Labels like these. Okay, it contains straight line, their color is different. For example, this color may be different, this color may be different, right? It contains labels. Okay, you can see this angle is also there, a circle is there, all these things are there. So we will see how to create this simple looking diagram, and in the way what we will do is we will learn about a lot of things. We'll learn about coordinate system, as you can see is written over here. We'll learn about line paths, decorating the lines with arrows, circle, nodes. Nodes means text. The text that you are inserting, that is inserted with the help of nodes. You will make arc, you will make coordinate calculations, you can change color of course. So let us start with that. So what we are going to do is that what you have to do is that you have to put this inside your template file or inside your tech document. Okay, by the way, when I am saying template file, it is basically a tech document only. There is nothing new about this software also. This particular software, there is nothing new about it. You can use TechMaker also to create the same figures. The only difference is that this, you will find it more convenient to use this particular software to create graphics. That is why I'm using this software. Otherwise, you can draw or you can do everything in Tech Studio also, or whatever editor IDE you are using. So we are going to use this particular package, and all these diagrams and figures are drawn in the TIGZ environment. For example, you can see here what I have written here is \begin TIGZ and a TIGZ picture. Okay, begin and end. So everything that we are going to do is going to be inside this environment. All the units are in centimeter. If I don't say that what units are, then you can assume that those units are centimeters. Now this package has this wonderful scale option. I have been telling again and again not to use the scale, but but in this particular case, there is something different about this scale option. What it does is that it only changes the coordinates, but it does not change the thickness, the font size, the font type. All these things are not changed. They are not affected by the scale option. So here the scale option is better as compared to other softwares. Now this you have to always remember. This sometimes you may forget very easily that you have to end every command with a semicolon. Okay, so that tells TIGZ that you are now done drawing the command. Okay, every command is ended by this semicolon. Now the internal coordinate system is like this, that on the horizontal axis you have your x-axis, vertical is your y-axis. So that is the coordinate system. Now, as I said, that this is the software. You can see that at the top of the software you have your menu. Okay, so this is the menu, right? And next what you have is your template file. As I told you that you have to insert a template file there. That is the path of the template file. In the here you can see, yeah, this is the template path. Okay, and there is your code. All of this is your code. Okay, and this is where your figure will appear as is drawn here, and finally your messages will be here. Why messages are required? Because as you can see that in Tech Studio also you may get some error. Okay, so those errors are displayed in such a place. And the file that I was saying that you have to use some template file, we will share that template file with you. Okay, and will help you and will tell you how to import that template file into your software. But this is the structure. This is a simplified structure of your template file. It is ended with this extension of .pgs. as you can see here. Okay. So coordinate, I hope many of you are aware that what do I mean by x comma y. X comma y means that if I have this coordinate system and let us say that this is the origin, then x comma y, if some point is here and I will say that its coordinates are x comma y, then what I mean is that I will go x in this direction and then I will go y in this particular direction. Okay, so that is what is meant by x comma y. X tells you to move right, y tells you to move in the upward direction. But what if you want to go to the left hand side? Then what will happen? Can someone tell me how to go to the left hand side or how to go to the downward side?
Minus x, minus y.
Minus x and minus y. So you can just use plus and minus for all these purposes. Now, as I said, that if you don't write any unit, it will assume to be centimeter. But if you write the unit, then it will interpret it correctly. So it is inch. So it is 1 centimeter right and 2 inch in the upward direction. You can do that. You can name the coordinates. Like, for example, let us say that you want to name your origin 0, 0 as O, capital O. Then this is the syntax, / coordinate. In the parenthesis, we write O at coordinate O at 0, 0. So that is how you write the coordinates. Now it is not necessary to use coordinates, but it is always good, because what happens is that if you define coordinate and draw your figure according to that, then what happens is that if you change the position of any coordinate, your figure changes accordingly. So maybe it is not important for you right now, but with time, as you use this software, you will realize that coordinates are very, very good and very, very helpful for you. Not only these x and y coordinates, you can have polar coordinates also. So if someone knows what polar coordinates are, polar coordinates means that you have some axis and you have some origin, and polar coordinates are represented by r and theta. Okay, so what theta means is that the direction with this horizontal axis. So this angle is theta. Okay, and how far along this direction you want to go, that is represented by r. Okay, so such kind of polar coordinates also you can use. So let us start with a simple line. Instead of showing you a simple line, let me draw a simple line. So let us say that I want to draw a line from 0, 0 to some point 2, 3. So what I will say is / draw 0, 0, then 2 dashes and whatever point, let us say 1, 2. Yeah, can you please switch off your mic, please? Yeah, thank you. All right. So as you can see that now it has drawn a line from 0, 0 to 1, 2. Now you may not realize that this is the 0, 0 and this is 1, 2. So let me draw a grid. So how to draw a grid? I will say / draw from 0, 0. I want the grid, and let us say I want it to 3, 3. Okay, and I will end it with the semicolon. So what it will now do is it will make a grid for me, and it will show you that I have actually drawn a line from 0, 0 to 1, 2. Okay, as you can see here. But as you can see that this grid has same thickness as this one. So what I will do is, there is another option here. There what we can say is help lines. Means these lines are there to help you. So what will happen is now they will have less prominence. They will mostly go to the background so that you can focus on your figure. Okay. Now you can see that just here you have seen that we have used square brackets. So if you remember that in LaTeX, what is the meaning of square brackets? They represent the commands.
Optional.
Yes.
Optional.
Yeah, exactly. They represent the optional commands that you can give. Okay. So therefore, even if I delete it, then also it will work. Okay. But I can change its behavior by using this option, that help lines. Okay. So I think it is fairly easy to understand that how to draw lines. If someone has any question, then maybe you can ask right now. If you want to ask anything.
Let me insert the template.
I'm sorry?
So how to insert the template? Because
Yeah, we will.
template is not appearing in.
Yeah, do you have the template file with you?
So what yes, it is. I'm asking this only.
No, I'm asking.
How
Do
to
you
get
have?
the template
Yeah,
file?
I think I'm not sure whether we have shared or not.
Sir, we
Still we haven't shared the template file, so I will share.
sir, if we have to add this in our
It means we
document,
can't run simultaneously.
Okay.
Send to me.
I just sending you the
hello.
template
Okay.
file.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, if we have to add this in our document, which we have done in Text Studio, so then
Yeah.
we can add this one command.
Yes, we can do that. So let me just show you. I will use Text Studio to show you that how you can do that in Text Studio. Okay. So if you don't have the template file, then also it's okay. You can just open Text Studio and see how you can do it in Text Studio. So I will say that document class article. Okay. I will use this package. Okay, and I will begin document. Okay. Now what I will do is I will copy all of this and I will paste it here and I will run it. Okay, so now you can see that it is now appearing in your LaTeX document also. So if you don't have,
sir,
yes,
if we can do it here in Text Studio,
yeah,
then why it is a separate software?
because as I told you before that this software is specifically built for TXT. So what happens here is that there are several commands which you will come to know that they are very handy. For example, draw command is there. Now let me show you something. Let us say that I will say draw 0,0 and I type arc. Now you can see that everything is now typed already there for me. I have to just press enter. Now it is saying give me the start angle, end angle, and all those things. So all these things are very helpful. You don't have to remember so many commands. It will help you a lot in drawing. But as you have correctly said that you can use it in your Text Studio and you don't actually have to use it always. Okay. So if you don't have your that file, then also it's okay. As I said before, you can work along inside this. Okay, you can add everything inside this begin and end TXT picture.
Sir,
We have to put semicolon also.
I'm sorry, what?
So we need to put semicolon also.
Yeah, that is
Text
yes.
Studio?
Everywhere you have to add the semicolon. That is there, yes.
Sir, but without this Text Studio or LaTeX, that particular package will not work or what then?
It is working. It is working.
The TIX जो है,
No,
it will not
that is
work without LaTeX if LaTeX
yes.
is not installed on my machine, and if I try to work on TIX3, then will
it will not work. No, it will not work because it is LaTeX.
Because it is a package which is with
No,
LaTeX.
it is. This software just provides you the convenience.
Okay.
It is not. But it is using LaTeX in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. You mean to tell that
Yes.
like earlier in mathematical equation, we have used K-LaTeX formula just to assist us or supplement us in doing giving the equations. Similarly, this Quizlet what system we are using now, it will use us to give the LaTeX in Text Studio working environment.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr.
Yeah.
Avinav?
Yeah.
In this, like from 0, 0 to 1 to 2, na, we are using 2 dashes. So, this particular syntax for that.
It is a syntax.
That will not work, is it?
It will not work. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, what if we want to mention the coordinate like 0, 0, 1, 2 in the endpoints? What to do in that case?
I'm sorry, can you repeat what I say?
If I want to mention the coordinates of line and then what to do in that case?
Coordinates I'm already mentioning. What is your question? I cannot understand actually.
This graph.
So in the figure, I think.
say in figure.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
in the figure. Yeah.
Yeah. If coordinate, we want coordinate to be
Displayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Means the
displayed there.
labeling.
Yeah.
Labeling.
All right, labeling. Okay. Please wait for some time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please wait for some time. So far, if you want to understand, for example, please don't ask. Yeah, please let me just say one thing. Please don't ask how to do this or that in this particular software, because it will take some time for you to understand these things. So please wait till the end of the lecture regarding those questions. Okay. So if you want to, yeah, please, you were asking something. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I am asking that could you possible to send the link from where we can download the package?
It is already sent on the WhatsApp. I will request Dr. Arvind to send it to your email also. And if anything else, yeah.
Actually, he has just shared, I think, few minutes back again. So please check your WhatsApp for that.
Yeah. So shall we go ahead? Huh? Okay. So I was talking about this simple line.
Yes, sir.
That if you want to go from, let us say, 0, 0 to go to 3, 1. Okay, then how you can do that? That this is the syntax. As someone just pointed out, that this double dash, this represents that it is telling you, it is instructing LaTeX that draw a line, okay, from this point to that point. Now, you just don't want to, let us say, draw a simple line. You want to dash it, you want to change its color, you want to make it thick, you want to make it thin. There are several things that you want to do. Okay, so as I said before, that these are options, and these options you can very easily add as options. For example, all right, let me say ultra thick. So that will make this line very, very thick. Okay, so it will take some time to actually, yeah. So as you can see that it is now making the line very, very thick. Similarly, what you can do is you want to add an arrow. So I will say minus and your right angle bracket. Because it is looking like an arrow, it will make it an arrow. Like this. You can change the direction of the arrow just by changing your angular bracket. If you want to change the color, you can either write the name of the color. For example, if you write blue, it will become blue. Or you can say that color equals blue. You can do that also. So I can also say color equals blue, or for example, in this particular case, let me call it red. Okay, so you can see that now it is becoming red. Okay, so these things are there which you can do, and you will see several other options. So what I have done is to change the line width. These are the options, those are available. For example, you can see that you have this ultra thin, very thin, thin, semi thick, and all those things. Okay. And the dash patterns, what kind of dash patterns are available? For example, as you can see that this particular line is dashed. All right. And there are several other options are available: dotted, densely dotted, loosely dotted, dashed, densely dashed, and so on. Okay. So if you want to change the style of your line, then you can do that. So let me just draw here. Instead of showing you the presentation file, what I will do here is that I will draw here. Okay. Now, if you remember, what I want to do is I want to draw these axes. These axes, as you can see, that this axis and this axis I want to draw, and then I want to draw this circle. These are the things that I want to do. Okay. So let me choose this as origin. I will choose this as my origin. Okay. So let me draw a circle first. So keep noticing, I will say draw. Where I want to draw, where is my starting point? 0, 0. Okay, what I want to draw is circle. Now you see, I have typed CIR. Now it is already giving me an option. I will simply press enter. And you can see that in the option, it is asking for the radius. I will keep the radius as 2, but it will not draw the line. It will give you some error because I have not ended this command with a semicolon. So let me put a semicolon, and then it will show you on the right hand side that it will draw a circle of radius 2. Okay. Now next what I want to do is I want to draw those coordinates, those coordinate axes. So let me draw this coordinate axis. I will zoom out a little. Okay. And but now what you have to do is, now you have to see that what will be the coordinates starting point of the axis, what will be the end point of the axis, and similarly for the vertical line as well. So if this is 0, 0, this radius is 2. So let me start from -3, -3, 0. Let me start from there. Draw -3, 0. Okay. And I want, okay, so this is my starting point of -3, 0, and I will draw it till 3, 0. So let me draw it till 3, 0. Okay. I will end it with a semicolon. So I will wait for a few seconds and then my line is drawn. Okay. Now what I want to do is, you can see that the line which is drawn also has this, let me see, yeah, it also has this arrow here also, and that arrow is present here as well. So how to make arrow? You already know how to make an arrow, is by giving this option like this. Okay, this will give you the arrow. Now I think that it is a very ugly looking arrow, so what I am going to do is I am going to add some option here. Okay, it will change the shape of the arrow. You don't have to worry that there, at least till now, for now you don't have to worry that how will I remember all these things. Just work along with me, that's all. Okay. Now sometimes what happens is that you know the starting point, and then you know that from here I want to go 6 units in this direction. I don't want to know, I don't want to calculate the final coordinates. Okay, so the situation is something like this, that you have some starting point here. Okay, and let us say someone told you, okay, let me draw here, and someone told you, all right, go like this. Okay, and if this coordinate is A, then okay, it may be a little bit complex. Let me choose a simple example. For example, let us say that you are at this particular point and you know that you want to go to 6 units in this direction. Okay, let us say that this length is 6 centimeters. Then what you can do is you can say, let us say that its coordinates are 1, 2. Then what you can say is \draw 1, 2. Now draw. Now you notice what I'm doing next. I'm saying plus plus. Plus plus means the next coordinate that I have here, you take that coordinate and you add it to this particular coordinate. So I will say 6, 0, because I want to go only in the horizontal direction. I don't want to go into the vertical direction. And then what I will do is I will end it with a semicolon. Okay, so you see in this particular case, there are 2 options available to you. Either you can work like this, or you can put a plus plus sign here and write 6 here. Okay, that will also produce the exactly same result. Okay, I hope I am clear. Now what I am going to do is I am going to draw my y-axis. So for y-axis, I will use similar code. Okay. And I will say start from 0, -3 and change the value of y, not z. Okay. Now you will see that your vertical line will be drawn. Okay, and now you see what I meant by reusable code. Even in this case also, I can simply copy and paste things and it is much easier to work. Okay, so you see that now I have introduced several concepts to you, and those concepts are that of a line and circle. Okay, and in line also how to put arrow. So these 2 concepts you have learned just by drawing this simple diagram. So if there is anything that you cannot understand, I will again stop for 1 minute if you want to ask.
So kindly explain the concept of plus plus again.
Okay, I'll just hang on a second. So let me just open another software here. So let us say that what you want to do is something like this. I hope it is visible to all of you. Let us say that you are at some point 1, 2. Okay. Now I am saying to you, from this point, you go to right, let us say 5 units, then you go down. Okay. So I will call it as -2 units. That is what I want. Okay. So either what you can do is you can say that my initial coordinate is 1, 2 and my final coordinate is 6, 0. Okay. So if I say 1, 2, I'm not writing the whole thing. I'm just writing the relevant part. Then what it will do is it will draw this line. Okay. But since I know that how much dimensions I have to go to right, how much dimensions I have to go upward direction, then what I can say is that 1, 2 like this. Then I will say plus 5, -2. Both of them will give me the same result. Let me give you one more example. Let us say that you were, let me just clear this out. So let us say that you were at some point 1, 2 or whatever point you want to say. Now if I say that go to, from this particular point, go along 30 degrees or whatever angle it is, 30 degrees you go and go 2 units. For example, this should be the length of the distance that you travel at this angle 30 degrees. Okay. Now this is a difficult problem if you don't know trigonometry, right? Because what you have to do is you have to find out the x value, you have to find out the y value, then you have to add it into this and you have to do all these things. But in TIGSI what you can do is you can say 1, 2, go till here, and then in this add a coordinate which should go 30 degrees at an angle of 30 degree and by 2 units. Okay, so what this basically does is, what this syntax basically does is this: it takes A, it takes B, and that is your final coordinate. Okay, am I clear? Was it understandable?
Yes.
Okay. So that part we have achieved. Now let us go to the next part. We are now using nodes. As I said, I think I told you before also that nodes are used to place text. So we will place this text here. Okay, we'll say x-axis and y-axis there. So what I will do here is this, that in the x-axis I will say node. Okay, and then after that I will say what text I want there. For example, in this particular case, I want x-axis to be there. It should be written as x-axis. Okay, so let it appear first, then we will discuss. Now, can you see the output here? Okay, but is this the output that you wanted? I hope not. Okay, because I am assuming that what you want is that this text should appear to the right of it. Okay, so what I will do here is I will give this an option of right. So what it will do is it will place the text to the right of that particular node. Okay, now can you, now again we will reuse this code. I will simply copy it from here. Okay, and I will paste it here. All right, so what are the problems with this particular node? What is wrong with it?
Y-axis.
Yeah, it should be first of all it should be,
yes,
it should be y-axis. Any other problem is there?
Yeah,
must be on the top.
Yeah, it should be above.
Should be on the top.
Yeah, so I will say above. Okay, so you see, I think grid is not required now because you understand coordinates now, and we also now know that where our origin is. So maybe I can comment it out.
Sir, here we don't have to compile it or run it.
Yeah, it is doing by itself in the background. That is why I said. Yeah.
Whatever we are writing, accordingly it is coming. No? We don't have to compile and we don't have to build it.
It is building in the background by itself. That is why I said that this software has many advantages because what you want to do is you want to write the command and you want to see the output right away, whether what you have done is correct or not, or whether it is looking good or not. That is why I said that this software will help you a lot in it. Okay.
Sir, after typing you simple enter, press enter to run.
No, it is running by itself. You have to run it if you are writing it in Text Studio. For example, if I copy all of this and if I paste it in the Text Studio, there is the Text Studio. Yeah, here. For example, if I copy and paste here, okay, now I have to run it. Then only it will show on the right hand side. Okay, as you can see that it is showing on the Text Studio also. That is why I said it is not necessary to use this software, but this software makes your life very convenient. That is the whole point.
After typing you are pressing something, no? So
No, I'm not in this software. I'm not pressing anything. In this particular software, I'm simply typing. That's all.
You're simply typing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I stop typing and if my syntax is not finished, then it will give me an error. For example, I'll stop typing and at the bottom you can see that it's saying running. Now it is giving me an error. Okay, why? Because whatever I was typing, I started thinking something, I started talking to you, but it was running in the background.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is one example of using nodes. Another example is that if you want to place node at some point which is convenient to you. So what I will say is, let us say that I want to place a node at the origin. So what I will say is node at 0, 0, and these braces should always be present. Whether you are writing anything or not, it doesn't matter. But these braces should always be there. So what I want to do is I want to write O, because origin is generally represented in most textbooks by O. Okay. Now I want it to be in the mathematical font, so I will put a $. So is this the result that you want actually, or is there something wrong? Where should this O appear? Where you want this O to appear?
Should be below the line.
All right, let me try it below. Let me take that. Is this what you want? Below?
Not a line.
Some quadrant.
Okay. So we have gone below. Whether you want to go to left or you want to go to right.
Right.
Right. All right. Below right. Okay. But I personally prefer left. I'm sorry. I'm going to write left. I hope it is okay with you. But you can, in your own diagram, you can place it wherever you like. Okay. So I'm going to write below left. Okay. So now you see that we have used node with the draw command also, and we have used node with independent also, without anything. Okay. And you can name these nodes also. You can give it some name so that you can call it afterwards also. For example, what I can say is node O. I can say O. It is not necessary that I should write O, but I will call it O. Okay, because it is easier for me to remember. Okay, now what it is saying is, now let me show you something else. What I will now do is I will draw a line from some point, let us say 2, 3 to this point O. So what I will do is I will say draw from 2, 3 and till which point I want it to draw? Till O. So I will simply say O. Okay. And now you can see that it will draw a line from 2, 3 to this point O. Okay. So that is why it is very, very useful. These nodes, they are very, very useful. Okay. Now let me just delete this below left, and then you can see that what is the output that you are
The line is not just centered, no?
It is not centered. Yeah, just wait. So why this is happening? Why all this thing is happening? Why it is not going to 0, 0? This is because whenever you draw a node, it reserves some space for text. Okay, and around the text, it leaves some space also. I am not going to go into much details of all those things, but that is why it is not going till 0. So those are known as outer separation and inner separation. So all right, maybe I can show you that inner sep. equal to 0, comma, outer set equals to 0. So now what it will do is it will take me closer to this origin that I'm looking for. Okay, but it has still left some space because I wrote O there. If you want to go further inside at this exact point, that I will show you later how to do that. Okay, but I hope you have understood the usage of nodes. If you have any question, then I will take some questions.
So what is the function of that O which is written after outer set 0?
Yeah, that is the name. For example, if I write here X, okay, then this will give me an error because it will complain that there is no node whose name is O. Okay, now I have to change it to X. So this is the name of the node.
So basically that is for reference purpose because the name will be given in the curly brackets.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Thank you.
You should not say that name is given in the curly bracket. That is the label that is given in the curly bracket. The name is given in the parenthesis.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What if I remove this text? Then what will happen? Let me remove this text. Now you can see what happens. Now you can see that it is exactly going to that particular point because I said that I do not need any separation. But if I delete it, then you will see that it will leave some space even though there is no text at all. Okay, because it introduces some additional spaces. Okay, so for the time being, you don't have to worry about all those things. I am just telling all these things so that when in future you are going to use all these things, I hope you remember that I told you all these things. Okay, but for the time being, it is sufficient. All these things are sufficient for us. So I will simply delete this line. Now let us see what we want to do next. By the way, my lecture, if everyone will allow me, I can shift. We can change the tutorial also. We can organize this tutorial sometime later, maybe. Okay, depending upon how the lecture goes. Okay. I will finish the lecture at 3:30 so that you can understand everything. I want you to understand all these things. So that is what my motive is. Okay, so now let me draw this line. You can see this vector, right? You can see this vector. Huh? So what I want to do is I want to draw a vector. I know that the radius of this particular circle is 2. I want to draw a line which is at 60-degree angles and having a length of 2. Okay, so that polar coordinates I've already discussed that how you can do that. So let us do that. I want to draw a line from 0, 0 to, now you see that I am adding plus plus. So what I am saying is that go at a 60-degree angle towards a distance of 2 units and draw the line. So it has drawn the line, as you can see. Okay, but in this figure you can see I think this line is drawn in gray color. So you can say that you want to draw a gray color, you want it a little thicker, let us say. I will say thick. I want to make it a vector, so I will add an arrowhead. Okay, and I want to make it gray. I will type gray. So now you see that it has appeared as gray. Next, what I want to do is I want to add a label. For example, you want to write R here, as you can see here that you want to write R. Okay, vector R. So let me write vector R. So if you remember, the command I have to make is node. And I will put vector R here, backslash FBA R. Now, what is the problem? That this vector R is appearing at the end. Where we want it to appear? Somewhere in the middle, right? So what I can say here is, I can say that cos means position, equal to 0.5. Then it will go to the middle of it. As you can see. but I don't want my vector r to be here. I want it to be above that line. Okay, so what I will say is, I will say above. Okay, so it has appeared at this particular point. But generally what I want is that even if my graphics has some colors, I don't want my text to be of that color. I want that text to be same as other text. Okay, the color of other text is black, so what I can say is color equals black. Okay, so now I have this black colors. Okay, so any question if you want to ask anything?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
60 degree and 2 centimeter. They are taken in same over there. So how it differentiate between that? This is the degree and this one is the length. How it could be if there's a angle? Just say angle is 10 degree and length is also 10 degree. I mean radius of also 10 centimeter.
Yeah.
And how to differentiate?
Yeah, this is the angle always. The first part is always angle. Then you put a colon in between, and the second part is always radius.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So so far we have done all these things. Now let us go further. Let's see what happens. So this part we have achieved. Actually, remember this thing, that what I am doing right now may be different from what I have written in the presentations, because I don't do the same thing exactly the same way ever again. Okay, so there are very many possibilities to achieve the same result in very different ways. Okay, so don't tell me that all right, you were saying something else there and in your presentation file something else is written. There are many ways. I am choosing one of the way whichever I find suitable at that particular point. I hope that will be okay. You can follow all these things later on when I will share my presentation with you. Okay. All right. So let us say that you think that this is very, very close. You want to push it a little farther away. So what you will do is, where you have written above, then you will write equal to, and then you can see that it is asking you for dimension. Let me call that dimension as 1 centimeter. So what it will do is it will push this above 1 centimeter. So you can see that it has gone beyond the circle. So if you want to shift, you can shift like this also. You can give a negative number also. It will then go in the negative direction. Okay, so all these possibilities are there. So if you want to change, then you can change. For example, if I say 0.2 centimeter, then it will take 0.2 centimeter. If you don't give any option, then it will choose something suitable by itself. Okay. So now let us drop the perpendiculars. But to drop the perpendiculars, you should know what is the base of this. All right. Either you should know how to drop perpendiculars, or you should know what are the coordinates of this basis. So if you know a little bit of trigonometry, then you will realize that this length is r cos theta, and this length is r sin theta. Okay, so you can do that. You can use r sin theta, r cos theta. So how to calculate that? So now you see what I want to do is I want to draw from this point 0, 0. I want to draw from 0, 0 till r cos theta, 0. So let me do that. Backslash. Okay, I think I don't want to draw from here to here, but I want to draw from this point to this point, because that will be the perpendicular that I want to draw. Okay, so I want to draw from backslash draw. Now if you remember that this point was at 60-degree angle at a distance of 2, so I will say 60:2. Okay, till what was that? R cos theta, right? So r is 2 into cos theta was 60, comma 0. Now I think it will give some error if I'm not wrong. Let us wait. Yeah, it is giving me some error, because what I should do is, then when things get very complicated, then the best thing to do is to put them inside the braces. Okay. Now I'm not telling you why it is giving you an error, but I'm just telling you that how to simplify that error. Okay. And what I want is that I want this particular line to be either dashed or dotted, whichever way you want. You can write that. I'm writing dashed. Okay, so I have dropped that perpendicular, and now let me drop another perpendicular. Okay, and that perpendicular is this one, this horizontal one, this horizontal perpendicular, this one. So let me do that. So what I should now do is I will take it to the y-axis from 0, control V. All right, and instead of cos, I will say sine, because I know that it is r sine theta. Okay. So that is how you can do it. Any questions if you want to ask anything, any part that you didn't understand?
Sir, my question is like you have given 60 column to that angle you have mentioned, right, sir? There can we label it, and we can use the same label in here in the while drawing this perpendiculars.
Okay, you want to give it a label, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let us do that. Yeah, let us do that. So what I will say is, I'm labeling this as O. I will label this as P. Okay, so what I will say is this: / coordinate P at which point? At 60 colon 2. Okay, so now I have defined a coordinate at this particular point. So now what I can do is, instead of writing 60 colon 2 always, what I can now write is P. Like this. I hope it will compile. So now you see that you are getting the exact same result. Was that your question?
And sir, if we have to write 60 degree as a angle, as a label,
I will come to that, please. Yeah. I will come to that. We will complete the figure. Don't worry about it. All right. So I think this part we have done. We have dropped the perpendiculars. What else is remaining in our final figure? Okay. So now what we want to do is this. We want to draw these dimensional lines. Okay. This line and this line we want to draw. These two lines we want to draw. All right. We want to label it like this: r cos theta and r sin theta. Because in your trigonometry class, you want to make these things understand to students. So let us do that. Okay. Now, how to do that? That is the question. So what I have done is I have chosen this separation distance. You can see this separation distance, right? I have chosen this separation distance to be 0.25. Okay. It is more of a hit and trial method. So this is the value that I have chosen. That means I should move from 0, 0 to this particular point. Okay, its x coordinate will be 0. I know that, and its y coordinate will be minus 0.25. Okay, because I am moving downward direction by that particular amount. Okay, and what is the length of this particular line? Okay, that line I already know. I already know that it is r cos theta. Okay, so what I will say is, I will say that you draw a line from this point, okay, and then increase its x point by r cos theta, and don't change its y value, because I want the line to be horizontal line. Okay, I hope you will agree with all this. So let us do that. Okay, so / draw 0, minus 0.25. Okay, then plus. Okay, r cos theta I have already written, so I will simply copy from there. I will simply copy from there and I will paste it here. Okay, so I hope the line will be drawn and at the right point. Okay, so it is drawn. But generally what I want is, because these dimensional lines are not important, they are more of a suggestion that this length is this much. And therefore what I want is, I don't want it to be as prominent as other lines. So I will say that this line should be thin. So it will make a thin line. Okay. And I want arrowheads at starting also, and it at end also. So what I will say is something like this. So arrow at both ends. So I got the arrow. Okay. And I can use the same code now to draw this vertical line also, where I have written r sine theta, as you can see here. Okay. Now I can draw this vertical line also, and I'm not going to explain it. Hopefully you can do it by yourself, but I will use this code again. And x and y are basically interchanged, and sine theta is going to cos theta. That is the only difference. Okay. So now you see that when you are drawing it for the first time, for example, when I do this first slide, then it was comparatively harder to draw. You have to put in more effort. But as you keep on drawing, then you will see that you can reuse your code and things become very, very simple later on. Okay, and it becomes so easy to manipulate things around. Okay, so now I've drawn this. Next, what I want is, I want to put these labels r sine theta and cos theta. So let me just clear it up a little bit.
Dr. Abhinav?
Yeah.
What guides this software, these dimensions, like thin, thick, we are saying, right?
Yeah.
So how much thin and how much thick, like, and normal one, like?
Okay, so I honestly actually don't remember, but as far as I can, actually
okay,
I should not give you a wrong answer actually.
No problem.
I don't actually remember.
It's
but
okay.
what you can do is, for example, if you don't like thin or thick, you can actually say line width. Line width equal to, let us say, 0.2 pt or whatever you want to say. So then it will give you that particular line width. I hope it will appear. Yeah, you can see. Okay.
Okay.
So I personally don't remember. You can change around this value. I think it should be 1 pt if I'm not wrong actually. So let me just check. No, it is very, very. So let us.
It's okay.
Maybe I can see it later on and tell you.
It's okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So that is where we are. What we want to do now is that we want to label. Okay, so let us do it for the horizontal line first. Okay, and we want the label to appear in between. So that part we have already seen. Cos equals to 0.5 to put it in between. So that is what we are going to do. I will say node. Okay, and what I want to write in that node is r cos theta. So I will say $r \cos and \theta. So what will happen now is that the node will appear in the between. And again, you will see that this is not what you want. First of all, it should be in the middle. So that means cos should be 0.5. Okay. And then also you are not going to like it because they will overlap with each other. So what I want to do is I want to put it below. Okay. So I have done this part. Now, as I said, that you can reuse this code. What I want you to do now is that I want you to write this r sine theta, this one, r sine theta. I want you to write it by yourself. So I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes and let me know if you face any problem. Please write r sine theta by yourself. You can copy and paste this code into the below line and you can manipulate according to your requirement. Just check whether you are able to do it or not. Okay, maybe you are not writing that. Okay, so what I will do is maybe I can copy all of this and I will paste it in the text box and you can paste it in Text Studio and do it. Okay.
Sir, there is also a question by Madam Hansa that how this system know that this 60° is from x-axis or y-axis?
It is always from the horizontal direction, always.
Okay. So the default setting is that it's is taken from horizontal direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Abhinav, you initially mentioned how to include the package. I think at that time something had
It's
come
okay.
to
It's
mind.
okay. Let me. Yeah, I'll copy paste everything. You have to just include these 3 lines in the preamble or starting, and then you have to obviously end the document, right?
Okay.
Okay. You start the document like this, and then you say end document.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so let us just copy and paste, and you tell me that what changes I should make. Okay, just tell me that what changes I should make. Anyone? Can anyone guess? Even if you are not able to do it, can anyone guess that what changes I should make?
Yes, sir. It like 0.25, comma 0.
Where?
The coordinates, sir.
I actually only copied this part. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking that in this particular code, should I change something? For example, I don't want r cos theta here. I want r sin theta. Okay. So first of all, I should
also in
change.
case of below, it should be on left.
Left. Okay.
Left.
So let us do that. Left. Okay. And instead of cos, what I'm saying now is. Okay. Yeah. So you see that now the code becomes very reusable. You can use it again.
Sir, angle के साथ 90° rotation.
Okay. If you want to rotate it by 90 degrees. Okay. So now instead of saying left, left doesn't work now. Okay. So you see now you will face problem when. Okay. Yeah.
Center now. Center.
Let us say above left, and let's see what happens. Okay. Still, it is not what I want. So with rotation, these problems may arise. Okay, because its anchor is somewhere else and it is rotating with respect to something else. So that is why I will not do that. But whenever you want to do this, for example, if you want to write r sin theta and rotate it in that particular direction, then the best way is to actually create a separate node at that particular point and then you rotate. If you do that, then you will not face this problem of shifting it up and down. Okay. For the time being, I'll leave it like that. But as Yogesh has pointed out, that you can actually rotate all these text and everything. which you are placing inside the node. But for the time being, let us try to make keep it simple. Okay, so I think I have run out of time for the time being. So shall we have some break, or you want to continue? You want to finish this figure? Okay, so let us take 5-10 minutes maybe. Okay.
Dr. Abhinav?
Yeah.
Actually, in my case, I'm getting some error. So you initially mentioned now we have to load a template.
So it is not necessary. If you run it in Text Studio, then you don't have to load any template.
No, it's saying some error, run failed.
Okay, maybe we can discuss that about run failed. Okay, you may have to give some more detail. Did you save the file somewhere and then run it?
Yeah, saved the file and then.
Okay, let us whenever we break, I will maybe you can share the screen and I can discuss with you. Is that okay? And even the template file also, I think it is not much of a problem. Maybe I can copy and paste the template file for you. But then let me. Okay, if you want to do it, let me.
I have sent an email.
Okay, you can check your email also. You can download it from there. And then what you can do is you can click on this button which says select template file. Then you can select that. Okay, you can do that also.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just finalize this particular point. In this particular figure, I think the only thing now missing is where is the file? Yeah, here. So angle is missing. I have to put the angle, and I have to put some labels, and that will be it, I think. Yeah. So I think it will take some 5 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes for this lecture. And now, so first you have to think in your mind that what you want to do now. Okay. For example, what you want to do is that you want to, from this particular point, you want to go a little bit down, right? Then you want to draw this vertical line, okay, so that it appears in this particular point. So if you remember, what was the depth of this particular point? It was 0.25. Let us say that I want to draw a line which is 0.2 of length. Then what I would like to do is this depth will now become 0.15. Okay, so that means that from this line, I want to draw a line like this, whose length is 0.2 and whose distance, this distance is 0.15. Okay. Now this is a good example for coordinate calculation, because now you have to calculate these coordinates. Okay, so let us do that. So I will simply draw the perpendicular so that the figure looks less cluttered. I know that this particular point is r cos theta, comma 0. From this point, I want to go a little below. Okay, that means I want to add some coordinate. I don't want to change the value of x. I want to change the value of y by going down. Okay, so this is basically a coordinate calculation. You are adding two coordinates. And the syntax for coordinate calculation is like this. I will write it like this. I will put it inside the $sign r cos theta, comma 0 plus 0, comma minus 0.15. Okay, then I will close the $sign and then I will close the parenthesis. Okay, so now what it is saying, go to this point, and to this point you add this particular point, and that will be your new coordinate. Okay, so this is how I will get the coordinate. So let me do it to show you what kind of a result you will get. So \draw. I will simply copy this particular coordinate. Remember, all these things are within parentheses and $sign. This is my first coordinate, and from this coordinate I don't want to change the value of x. In the value of y, I want to go down by this much amount. Okay, this is my new coordinate. Something like this. I hope it will appear. Okay, very bad. So what I should have done here is I should have put plus plus. All right. So this vertical bar is there. Okay. Now what I will do is, I am sure you didn't understand anything what I said right now. So what I want you to do is, I want you to draw this line, and I will stop the lecture here. What I want you to do is this. Okay, is there an eraser here? I cannot find. All right. So what I want you to do is, I want you to draw this particular line. Okay. So please do that. I will end the lecture here, and we will meet at around what time? 4 or what? At 4? Okay. So let us meet at 4. So just draw that horizontal line. Okay. Now if you have any question, then I can answer those questions, because I will stop now. I'll start again at 4.
So there will be lecture or there will be tutorial, sir?
Actually, my lectures are going to be extremely hybrid. I don't know what it is going to be. For the time being, I will continue my lecture, and maybe tutorial we can shift somewhere else, because what I want you to do is, I want you to understand all these concepts very well. That is the main.
Same link, then we have to join at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you can join using the same link. If we will go for tutorial, then we will inform you about the tutorial also. Okay. So just draw that small vertical bar, okay, and you make it thin. I forgot to make it thin. Make it thin, because it is not a part of your main figure, right? Make it thin. Okay. Now what I want you to do is, please everyone, download that file, that template file that we have sent you. Okay. You download that template file, and then you open that template file using this button. Okay, then you type very simple code and you check whether it is working or not. Okay,
sir, I have downloaded it, but it is not opening actually.
You don't have to open it, you just download it, and then you come to this Qtixi software, and then you press on this button, select template file, and you select that file. You don't have to open the file.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But if you want to open the file, you want to see what is inside the file, use any text editor. You can use Notepad if you want to. You can use Text Studio if you want to.
Okay, I will try, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let us meet at 4 then, right? So I'll end the lecture right now. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, I am not able to view the preview window, no?
You are not able to view preview? Why? What happened?
Only single window is there.
Only single window is there?
Yeah.
Preview. What happened to preview? You may have to, yeah, you can go to settings, you can go to sidebar, then preview is there, you can see. Settings, sidebars, preview is there.